Okay, go ahead and put this thing together and look at it here. So I just got to clean these off. I didn't go remeasure them because it's filthy over there, but you can see how fine finish I run on these things. It's pretty fine. It's real smooth. It's the finest grit that Hunt and Sudden sells is what I use. And they're now within a tenth easily being out around in size to what I want it to be. You know, the crank pin is 2/10 out, but oh well. So we're gonna go with the 6/10 over bearings. So I wound up honing out, basically I had to hone out about 3/10 after I got it semi-round, because it's not a lot around. So I didn't have a lot to work with, but anyway, we got it pretty close. I didn't want to go the next size up, but oh well, it is what it is. So I'm going to use a little bit of assembly lube here on the help pull the bearings in. I'm not a big fan of grease like they're trying to run here. So I probably should get rid of that stupid grease. I really don't like that crap. Well, when you put grease and you don't want it. That's what they make trailers for, to wipe it out there. It's so important. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and stuff our bearings in here. We're using the aluminum cages like we talked about before. Back over there. So this is just a matter of poking them all in here. I did measure these. So they're 8 to 9 on the mic. Should put us right there at 9/10 to a thou clearance, give or take. Give or take a tenth. Which is what I work to anyway. I like putting these in my hands so I can just don't have to reach too far to do what I want to do. The assembly lube will help hold the bearings in there next to the crank pin so you don't fall out. S&S have been having rod failures, so I don't know what they're doing wrong, but obviously the quality of their parts is not the best. And the quality of their honing is definitely not the best. I'm using my old Dad's old worn out machine from the 40s, late 40s, early 50s. And I can make my stuff 10 times more accurate than theirs. I don't know why. There must be some reason out there why I can do a better job than they can. I think they could do a better job if they wanted to. Obviously they don't want to. It isn't like it's hard to do. Just have to pay attention to what you're doing, that's all. And care. I think that's the biggest problem. I don't care. Too many big rollers, not small rollers here. I can't remember how many times I put bearings in my hands like this, came out the exact count. Just by pouring them in my hand and calling it done. Happened way more than once. This one I probably got too many long rollers in here. Maybe not. I still have a hole or two back there. Fingernails do help in this situation when you're trying to put rollers in. This one is not liking me at all. There it goes. couple extra rollers on the long side. Yep. One too many. Bad if you're just pouring them in your hand, huh? That was on the long one. This one I ran out of them, so I knew that was going to be short. So how many short were we? It's about 4. This bag is split already. This plastic rots before you can use it. Oh, find the big slit. So this bag here, recycle. Because this bag has sprung a leak. There's actually 2 bags here. Both sprung a leak. It's called crappy plastic. See how the bag just kind of rots off. Things just don't hold up. Very low quality. These are the original bags and they get holes in them. Right down here, it's hard to see, but the whole image is split wide open. Every time you handle these things, you go through bags. No extra rollers floating around. Good sign. Okay. If I did it right, this should go together. Okay, that is the pinion shaft. So that means that's the right side flywheel. That means the rod's go on like this, rear front. Goes like that. Don't like assembling stuff, even mock-up dry. I like putting the numbers the same. That way I know I hold them the same way. Boom. Right down. So this rod's half the thickness, so it has 3 times the clearance. Doesn't make sense, but that's how it works. Alright, so I'll make it down here where you can see a little bit what's going on. Let me see, how do I figure out how to use this camera in a minute. So go like that. So this is the clearance we have. And this one here, you can hear it. Now the oil is masking some of the clearance, but it's a little bit tighter than it was. And obviously it's nice and free. If you feel any kind of a tight spot, it's junk. I don't care what anything measures. Should be no tight spots. Alright, so this is a lot tighter than it was. So So it's pretty good clearance. You know, it's just a nice street bike clearance. It's not a race bike. There you go. So we don't make them really loose like I do on my race bike. You give them nice clearance, but nice and true and straight and all that. And there's no binding, obviously. So they're a little tighter than I like running them for my application, but for a street bike, that's where you run that. Normal break-in, you know, put 1,500 miles on that, it'll be just right. So you can still run it hard right from the gate, but it's best to break it in slightly. Now, if you're going to run it hard, I'd bump the clearance up a couple more tenths and have a little more shake like we had before on it. But this one here we run a bit tighter because what he's going to run it as. So there you go. That's ready to be assembled now. So we'll move on to the next crank. There you go. Now if only SNS can do that from the factory that way.